This is.
Oh,
Because it just,
oh.
I'm slippery.
We've enjoyed skiing since the best rate.
Oh, yeah. It's not bad.
I'd like to welcome everyone this evening. Haven't seen people here since last year, so first meeting this year, but official. This is January meeting. Is that Josh? Oh, yeah, come on in. Sorry, you guys can go ahead and continue stand up. Everybody stand up, remove their hats. Say the Pledge of Allegiance here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, thank you all for coming out this evening. It's getting closer to grant season. We're excited about that and see if we can move the needle in 2026 like we did with your all's help in 2025. So start out the meeting tonight, the approval of the minutes from last year, December 15th, 2025. Rainey did send those out when we were having our meeting in January. Would anyone like to make a motion as they were presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Motion carries. Moving on to Dr. David Bramer, attorney at law, for the treasurer's report of 2026. This is your first one.
It is.
Yeah.
So, the innkeeper tax from December of 25 was $103,840.76, which gave us a total for 2025 of $1,130,531.78. An increase of 46+% from last year. And after everything, expenses and things, we ended up with $606,144.27 in our balance beginning the year. I did give you a kind of a starting for 2026. The only thing it's got on it now are deductions. So we have one is the VMI operations expense. That is this year $91,395.20. And then there's a marketing claim for $38,051.61. This is the facts and figures from 2025 and starting 2026.
Would anyone like to make a motion? Dave, thank you. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll move that we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Motion carries. And anyone like to make a motion to approve the two claims as they were presented?
I move that we approve the two claims.
Second that.
Any discussion? Motion also carries. Thank you so much. Partnerships and projects. Like to move on. Honestly, I mean, I had people text me, call, email. It's partnerships and projects. Feel like you want to present. If you haven't yet, if you're going to go through the grant cycle for 2026, you need to present. Just a quick hitter of what you use the capital for in 2025, and little few questions if our board has any of those, and don't feel like you have to stay here the entire meeting. If you choose to, that's great. Choose not to, that's not disrespectful at all. So we all have families, we all have obligations. Would someone like to start? I have Kara Fox. I don't see Kara. I have HMI. Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
John Stacer with Historic Madison Incorporated. I'd like to thank the Board of Tourism for their support once again last year. We received a grant of $11,000 that was allocated to assist with part-time digital content associate and a part-time programs assistant, and also to aid with technology costs related to our digital media, visitor services, enhanced visitor experiences at all of our Historic Madison properties. We have 5 or 6 properties that are available to the public on a regular basis. Social media recap 2025, we gained 1,023 followers on Facebook and 162 on Instagram. We had 7 posts that had over 10,000 views each, which is a new record for us. The digital content associate made 174 pieces of content for social media in 2025. And that person also helped with the growth and expansion of our website. With their help, we added 5 new pages and dozens of pieces of new content across our site. And in programs, HMI offered 353 tours and programs in 2025. That's almost 1 per day. Did I do the math right?
Yeah.
Okay. The programs assistant extended the effectiveness of our director of programs by being available for weekend tours and programs, helped create new exhibits, gave tours, collected tour fees, and digitized more than 1,000 pages of records and documents for use in updating programs and tours. In addition, we received a re-grant of funds of $12,000 that were allocated for the Madison Rodeo. And that came in the middle of the year, unlooked for. So that assisted specifically with digital content costs at the Saddle Tree Factory Museum, including our virtual tour, which is available to anybody in the world with an internet connection, or internet and Wi-Fi to accept credit card digital payments. Help underwrite costs associated with the creation of new digital educational curriculum materials, which will be available on our website later this year for teachers, homeschoolers, and other educational institutions anywhere the internet is available. We also completed additional maintenance and repair projects over and above our original work plan for the year. And I have some show and tell. Helped underwrite, assisted with 3D scanning and printing of a number of our saddle trees for use during tours. And these are not for you to keep, they're for you to pass around.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, well, everybody wants one, but nobody.
Yeah.
These are for the kids. If everybody took one, there would be none left for the other kids.
Seriously, awesome.
Okay.
You made them for us.
Well, we had to pay for the cost of the scanning,
Right.
okay, and there's a company up in Indianapolis called Doc Eyes that we've made friends with. And they came down and scanned the saddle trees for us. And we're hoping they can do a lot more scanning for us in the future. And let me take these and.
Are those available for like $1.90?
No, they're not available. These are educational curriculum materials. If everybody had one.
And so far, this is only existing because a volunteer used their own 3D printer to make them.
Cool.
So that's why we're not selling them, because someone was very kind and made them for us and is sharing them with us. But it is an idea for the people. Don't go think.
So-
Not right.
And one of the things several years ago, when we talked with Ellie about their support of the Saddle Factory, was to do cool stuff like this. And that these scanned things can be available on our website, the scanned images, so people can rotate them and see them and all that kind of stuff. It's really very cool. And we got these kind of as a surprise Christmas present right before the holidays. So you're amongst the first people to actually see them.
Cool.
And hear them. So,
That's cool.
isn't that fun?
Right.
John, thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions?
Well, John, I am curious. So how many hours do you know, the great analytics, by the way, and thank you for sharing all that. With the two, because you were able to bring in two part-time, one digital and then one program coordinator. Was that,
Programs assistant and digital content associate, yes.
I just thought that was such a great way to, such a great use of funds with it not being a huge amount. So I'm just curious, how, do you know how many hours about or anything like?
I don't have that
Yeah.
number off the top. of my
It just
head.
seems like you guys really maximize the dollars. So I thought that was really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been very fortunate. We've had two, young ladies from Hanover College that, the staff changes during the year, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of part-time seasonal, so we've had a mix of staff, and the two we have right now are really knocking the ball out of the park. One that we had in the past was knocking the ball out of the park, so we've been really fortunate. And you need these young people to kind of
Yeah.
create these real, I don't know how to do that. I look at them like, whoa, that's really cool.
Well, it's good. It's good.
So
able to
thank you
achieve a
very much.
lot, yeah.
And that's the goal is, and it's a learning experience for them to take with them, when they go on their life
Sure.
journey. So it's almost like an internship sort of opportunity. And Jess does a really good job with overseeing them, keeping them on track. And then making sure the stuff that they're doing is mission critical to us.
Right.
And is serving our needs and our mission and helping broaden the appeal of Jefferson County to people all the way out there in digital media land.
It's great.
Thank you.
Moving on, I don't see Elizabeth Oxer, with Friends of the Ohio. We'll move on to, Charlie Rolfe.
Yep. I'm gonna use the thing.
Perfect.
Oh, I forgot about the thing.
First of all,
I know.
thank you very much, guys. I mean, we're a relatively, budget-wise, relatively small. We don't have any kind of full-time staff or anything. Your support effectively doubles what we can accomplish. And it allows us to really accomplish pretty much everything we want to do. What our mission is to let the world know we're here. Let the world know that there's Music City here. And then when they get here, it's here, that there's music here. So that's what the busking is. And then there's a whole raft of stuff that we use, non-JCPT money. We support festivals, concerts, songwriting, things. I mean, what, help me, Kim, all the different stuff. Well, it's all written down here.
Yeah.
So. Let's just run through the biggest thing that we do is marketing. That's to bring more people to town. I think there's two there, but. You can list, just for expediency, you can glance at that list, grab my glasses, of all the things that fall under marketing, the biggest of which is, of course, social media. I mean, it just has the most impact. Reaches the most people. We spend the most money there. You can see $19,000. We spent $28,000 this year. Like about 20 of that, 20 of that was marketing, and almost 9,000 was busking. Busking, you can see, glancing at that, we do have a manager that kind of manages that program, but $8,000 that was paid to musicians. So just estimating, it's about 162 performances out on the street, which is very tourism facing. We did the, glancing up at the other list up there, we did the postcards, the flyers, the QR code stuff that's been just super popular. The retailers love it, the restaurants love it, and that QR code getting hit a lot. Sarah sent me a report on that. Yeah, we're able to track that. So just how just some examples of what the social media does. In this 1 year, we went from 6,000 followers up to 11,000 followers, so like an 80% boost. And that's just the quality of the content that my social media person is putting out. 3.3 million views. And what's fascinating there is we paid for about 700,000 views. So we boosted to get about 700,000. 2.5 million more views came organically. So some of those posts, she gave me thing on. Some of those posts are getting 227 shares, 208 shares, 293 shares. I mean, you know how valuable shares are. That's not just something popping up in your feed because it was paid to be there. That's a friend saying, take a look at this. So those kind of shares generated 2.5 million views on Facebook. We also are on Instagram to try to get the younger audience. We pushed that up to almost 2,000 followers, which was a big increase. And again, you can see 64,000 of those views are organic. So that's from shares. And we're doing some TikTok. Keep that going, try to get the real younger crowd. Obviously, Facebook is the low hanging fruit. It's where the older, more affluent, it's where our tourists are coming from, but we don't neglect the younger crowd. So that's kind of what we spent, what we used it for, the kind of the results we got. And on the back, just take a glance at that. This is the stuff we do, not JCBT money. And this is important. The reason I put this on here is we wouldn't be able to do this stuff to this level if we didn't have the JCBT money. It's very important. Your money lets us do the marketing, which is probably our primary priority, which then lets us use, it's mostly from Todd's Derby Party. We were able to support a whole bunch of things in town. The culture of music, just to make sure that there's nightlife, make sure that there's a continuity of young players coming up. So anything we can do to just make sure that there's music here sustainably. We want the scene, we don't want it to be a short-term thing. That's it. Any questions?
Charlie, how many people's on the M3 board?
11, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Any more? Thanks very much, guys.
Charlie, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the information on the busking.
Yeah, I think we had 16,000 budgeted for that and we spent about 9. It's a very difficult, but we're gonna look for ways to. I mean, it's just a really impactful program. I believe. I
Yeah.
mean, when a tourist encounters that, if you think about people in our competing towns, whether it's Columbus, Indiana or Nashville, they don't run into that. They you know, when you run into that makes your visit special. So I think it's money well spent, and we're looking to see if we can energize that a little bit.
I do have a quick question.
Yes,
So it seems to me during Mad Hop,
yes,
we have some really high quality buskers.
yes,
Do those guys ever want to come back? I mean, do they,
no.
okay.
The problem is busking. We have quality people here in town.
Yeah.
But they've got gigs that night. You know, if you look at
Okay.
Gordon Wilson or somebody like that, who's just, Jimmy Davis. They don't want to play on Saturday during the day. Even Zach Hackney, the Vaguely Familiar guys, they're playing that night. So they don't know. Your buskers are up and comers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really, really are.
They're more hungry.
They're hungry and, some of them are really good. Some can be.
I wonder if Hanover College, some of the students in the orchestra there, or the choir, they'd be interested in doing any of that.
That's a cool idea. And if they knew that they could make, we give them a base pay, like on the weekend, they get $40 just to show up.
Yeah,
And with tips, I've seen them make $150, $200. So that might be one of the ways we expand it, is by reaching out to them. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Charlie, what months are like the high receive months? Like when I assume summer months when you're gonna have the most busking.
For busking,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all
Like,
about.
do you find a certain month that's more than others?
No, I mean,
Okay.
it's, we're just pushing all the time.
Is there a certain,
Not this month.
No, in the
Okay.
winter, there's one guy, Taylor Ersel, who's out there with his heater,
Yeah.
and he's great, man. He's got a good voice.
He's gotten
and
better.
He keeps that presence going. And he goes year round, but
but most usually you're probably like March to November, something like that.
yeah.
High receive, probably around that.
Yeah,
So I mean, these 162 performances are condensed. It's not for the entire year.
It is
You're
not.
talking probably 9 months, 8 months.
probably even less than that. yeah,
Okay.
That people want to do it, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I agree with Matt, tapping into Hanover College, because I feel like as soon as you made an excellent point, I hadn't really thought about that. the advanced musicians, they have gigs.
Yeah,
That makes, that just,
Yeah.
that makes so much
Yeah.
sense. And the younger are hungry, you know, and
Exactly.
they've gotta get out there and have to practice. And instead of on a weekend working at Tractor Supply, I don't know why you wouldn't just go on a Saturday, work on your craft,
yes.
get better at something you're passionate about,
Yeah.
ain't getting compensated for it.
Mhm.
It just makes sense, you
Yeah.
know, and Shaw and Southwestern and Madison, I'm just trying to visualize it as Josh was, he and I both went to Southwestern. And, you know, just the marching band and just the pep band, and we had a lot of musicians in our classes.
Yeah.
And if they would have had an opportunity to be tapped into and just said, hey, you know, do you wanna,
Yeah,
you wanna
and they may
try?
not,
You know?
they may not realize that we welcome a violin player or a clarinet player.
Well, that's what you were talking about, Matt,
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
different genre.
We would welcome that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would still be a great tourist experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
To happen on that.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so symbiotic.
yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm
absolutely.
gonna go home to dinner.
Don't
Wife's
blame
cooking dinner.
you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Mhm.
Do we have any other projects, partnerships?
Yeah.
Kim,
Yes,
well, come on up.
okay.
Did I not write you down?
You
It-
called me.
it doesn't
No, I
matter.
was supposed to come last week.
Listen, we're still technically in January. This
Yes, we
meeting is in
are.
January.
My tree's still up and
Yeah.
all. It's Christmas time. No, I don't ever, until I'm ready, it doesn't go away. I'm not ready yet.
Still snowing.
One thing I wanted to add, and I'm sorry Charlie left. I just need to tell y'all, the busking program, we're very unique.
Charlie's back.
You gotta listen to, because I'm gonna talk good about this. The busking program, there are no known music towns that put together the busking program the way Madison has. So I think we all need to be very proud of that. And these include music cities, and nobody does it like that.
Yeah, that's what we hear from musicians. They're like,
That's right, and
this is unheard of.
and the cool thing is, it was developed by musicians that were on the M3 board. So it came from them, so they know what they're looking for.
But
Just wanna plug
but
that.
that's a great point. Charlie, we talked about that last year. When you and I had a conversation about busking,
Mhm.
you know, just that idea, if you're Indiana's music city, you know, and you're gonna attract people and they drive by and they just see people on corners.
It's,
And you say, you know, hey, it's tough to get
Right.
these people and it's gonna cost X and we are gonna spend X. Like, what a fantastic use of JCBT money
It's
a
for
knowledge.
that specific, you know,
Right,
idea. I mean, it's so,
good.
it's such an easy play in my mind.
Yeah.
You know?
it is.
Yeah.
thanks.
I
Karen.
just have, well,
Yeah.
you're welcome. I feel very passionate about it because, you know, I'm here representing the Madison Area Arts Alliance and, you know, our mission as an organization, well, I'm at a pulpit. I feel like I'm like giving a prayer or something. But our mission, with Madison Area Arts Alliance really is to create a voice for our creative community. We have such a broad base in this county of people and surrounding counties, really this area of creative people, young, old, all walks of life, musicians, artisans of all type, whether you're a professional musician or an amateur or up and coming, whether you're a novice artist. So fine art, folk art, photography, all of photography, Andrew, we're pushing Andrew's photography. But people in our area have such abundance of talent, really. And a lot of times they don't have the opportunities to show what they have or even to get their craft to a point of being an artist. And so I think busking and those kinds of things allow people to nurture and feel very confident and gain confidence. So honestly, that's what we do. Madison Area Arts Alliance is all about creating confidence and helping people be the best they can be if they're creative and give them opportunities. So that, you know, that's really our mission. But the byproduct of that is it creates an environment where people want to live and people want to create that community. But in our situation, that's what people want to come and visit. A town that doesn't exist anymore. They're like, oh my gosh, This is like coming to Mayberry with music and art and culture and beautiful surroundings and historic properties. We just have the whole package, you know, and that's what I think is so unique about what we do. So anyway, that's my just like preaching the gospel here, but truly, the Madison Area Arts Alliance we want to thank again the Board of Tourism, your assistance, your ongoing support, as one of the key organizations in the Alliance. You know, we all put together the Jefferson County Tourism Alliance that we meet quarterly, and that's VMI, the Chamber, HMI, JCHS, M3, the MA, and so forth. Those organizations meet quarterly. And since y'all did that, we now have a sound partnerships. We work together, we rely on each other, we support each other, and that has been the key to what has happened in what y'all are doing. As one of those organizations in the Alliance, we concentrate on arts and culture. We're proud to say that because of y'all and because of your support and the community support, because we work our butts off to raise money, y'all are a part of it, but we also do our friends group and other grants, and we do a lot of in-house fundraising. We throw Gallery at the Spots every month. We have a whole plethora of activities that fund our tiny little organization. We're proud to say that our home is at 326 Mulberry Street, The Spot. We're open 6 days a week. We are year round. And we have built a pretty robust annual program of work. And so thank you. Thank you for all of that. Some of our highlights from 2026, because, you know, we have tangible projects that we do, but the Board of Tourism helps support those. And if you'll recall last year, this was our program of work. It was in your packets, and you supported our programming, our special events, our tours, our exhibits, our public art projects, but you also supported our staff and administration. So we have one full-time staff and we have 2 very part-time staff. But between the 3 of us and our volunteers and our directors, board of directors, we're able to get a lot done, and we really appreciate that. So this is really a thank you, and I have a handout for you. So some highlights in 2025 include the creation of the Main Street Art Alley, which is going to be amazing. We are looking at an installation of custom frames, exhibit frames. They're 4 foot by 6 foot in the alley between the tap room and Bellows. There's one up now. We've tested it. We've got 7 ordered. Our first exhibit is on Harlan Hubbard, and that will happen in the spring. We're so excited about this. And what that does, it takes original artwork like Harlan Hubbard's, and then we have those fabricated and enlarged. So the community will get to see the story of Harlan Hubbard's work in the alleyway. We call it the Arts Alley. It's going to be an amazing thing, and it's a great addition to what we're doing. We're so excited. So this year we've done all the hard work. We've created and reversed engineered the framing for it. And basically what it does, it will be in the alley, and it sets apart from the wall. So it's about that far from the brick walls, and they're pretty big and they're really beautiful. So that's a really great project that we've done. Public art. We've refreshed the artsy boxes, Hilltop Hanover and downtown. We have about 13 to go. It's a big project. They're expensive. And those are Hilltop Hanover and downtown. We're prepping for the DG Market murals. There are 5 murals that are going to be amazing. It is a go, but we've done all the prep work, all the selections and everything has been taken care of. That was in 2025. We expanded our public arts brochure. The Gallery at the Spot shows and exhibits. And I have we're looking at data points. I have these also, and I'll hand these out. We had over 4,200 visitors to the Spot on Mulberry Street this year. We held 37 workshops and outreaches. We hosted 30 gallery talks and exhibits. Over 200 artists of all art forms were represented. Here's a really interesting data point. So when we do Gallery at the Spot, we have showings, we have a big exhibit, we have an art show. And we do a split with artists. So it's a 60-40 split. 40 is for our efforts, and we do all the marketing, we do the reception, we do all of that. And the artist takes home about 60% of what we sell. Last year, we paid in commissions $25,000 to artists. So our artists are working, they're understanding business, and they're creating the environment for, we are creating an environment for the arts to thrive, and we're really proud of that number. And that's a big jump. You know, that's a big jump, because we've not been able to do that kind of stuff. We continue our annual Arts and Camp for Kids, our monthly creatives. We're partnering with VMI to do an expanded trolley tour, and that's coming up in spring, right? And we also last year started our artsy golf cart tours, which are hilarious. And I would highly suggest take a trip on this golf carts with us, because it's spring. We have 4 guides, and 4 different people give 4 different takes on the public art in our community. So anyway, I could keep talking. I'm not going to, but if y'all have questions for me, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah, I think, we always say that that this organization is one that you can really feel, throughout the community. Hate to add something else to your list. I am
Please do.
curious, about historical artists
Yes.
in Madison. And I think a lot about William McKendry Snyder and his daughter and their home. There's no marker, there's really no evidence of that. Like, if you're local, but I don't know if that's something we can do something about that.
Speaking of a great partnership.
Yeah.
We have some partnerships that I know the History Center is putting together a permanent housing area for all Madison artists. They have an amazing collection. HMI has an amazing collection. I think we do a partnership with that. I think that's easy.
Yeah, get a
Yeah.
marker or something,
Yes.
his home or, yeah.
I think we could easily do that. Other thing I wanted to mention real quick, and this is just off, because I could just pull up a chair and we could talk about it, but there's a lot of public art in our community, and the city of Madison has a public art commission, and we work really closely with that. One thing I'm really concerned about is the maintenance of what we're doing. So it's great to have public art, it's great to have murals, it's great to have a beautiful fountain and keeper of light and all of these wonderful things that we have in our community. But the maintenance piece is really, really important, and making sure that we're just not putting stuff up and not ever looking at it again.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to assure y'all that those are part of the things that we think about and we are on top of, and we partner well with our other organizations and with the city, because those are the things that we need to be on top of. And quite honestly, all of the things that we talked about is tourism. It's creating the environment for people to want to be in. And all of these things add up, whether it's busking, whether it's something beautiful to look at, whether it's, a crazy golf cart tour or something silly that the trolley's doing, or this beautiful, historic property. That's what people love about us, is that we're authentic and we're real and we care, and we go the extra mile to make sure that people feel at home. It's our home, their home away from home. And so you guys are doing great stuff, and thank you for allowing me to tell you what I feel about. And we couldn't do it without you. So we have a great year planned. 2026 is gonna be really fun, and we're
And thank you.
Any questions? No. Here's an invitation, so I have to give you this. So, the night before Valentine's Day, we're doing a party, a fundraiser for the Arts Alliance, and it's called the Curiosity Shop. So if you have anything laying around your attic or anything in the garage that you'd like to donate, you can donate it for this, and we'll treat it like it's, very valuable. And you can either donate 100% or we'll split it with you 60-40, but it's a party. We're asking y'all to be part of it. Anything goes. So if you have anything at all, so I'll pass this out. We did it last year and did really well. It's a fun one.
A good idea.
Thanks, Kim.
I'll jump out here and follow.
Absolutely, go ahead, JD.
Not the last one.
Oh, I still have to go.
Oh, you wanna go first?
Oh,
Come on, get on up here.
thank you.
I'll let you go first. You had a long day.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Shocked I'm not on the agenda, to be honest. That's okay, I, you know.
I would take it personal.
Done it on the 19th of January.
Yeah.
That's also, was not aware that the other meeting was canceled, so maybe making sure you notify everyone on the agenda. So they don't show up,
I caught her as she was getting ready to come out the door.
yeah. Andrew and I are sometimes ships in the night, so we don't always touch base about these things. I'm obviously here for the Madison trolley line. We were given $14,000 at the end of 2025. Trolley line is still really in its infancy and is teaching me every day why I do not have kids of my own. But I love it. It's very special and near and dear to my heart. That $14,000 really helped. Yes, we had already launched, but we still had a lot of things that we needed to do to get through the winter season and continue bolstering our brand and just our reputation as an attraction since we are so new. I don't want to read this paper for you, but I'll just highlight some things, some notable things. I'm probably the most proud of our haunted rides on the trolley line. We did 4 tours a weekend, so 2 on Friday night and 2 on Saturday night every weekend of October, and we sold out 16 of 18 of those. And the 2 that weren't sold out were still well attended, and 72% of those attendees traveled from somewhere other than Hanover or Madison. So that's a really great visitor number that we had, and we had really overwhelmingly positive feedback from that. So we know we're gonna go into the fall season doing that programming, obviously adjusting, coming up with some new stories and spooky stuff. We also had 2 sold out weekends for Holly Jolly in conjunction with Nights, the home tour. We learned a lot from that experience. A lot of things we're trying out for the first time to see how it works. All of our events, all of our ticketed events go through Madtix, and a survey gets sent out that we've made for each of them. So we're collecting data. That's really what this first year of Trolley is all about, is collecting that data, figuring out what days work best, what times work best, what events work best, what people want to see on the trolley. So that's really helping us make some informed decisions. We also used some of that funding for social media. I'm not gonna talk about the importance of social media because I think everyone's touched on it, but it's obviously very important in this day and age. So a large chunk of that went to helping our trolley page grow. And then as well doing like those ad campaigns for our special events, and we have some winter promos going on right now. So those are obviously, you may see those on Facebook. If you don't follow us, please do. Shameless plug. We also got some printing. We're working with a few housing partners that were already offering like a BOGO deal for the winter, Clifty, Riverboat, and Fairfield. So we're working with them, and if you're staying at their property, you can also get a special promo code to get a BOGO deal on trolley. We're trying to be, again, mindful of our off season and figuring out how to make this a year-round attraction, because we know that we get year-round visitation. Some more of those materials are in the future going to help us go to vendor shows. We have some coming up at Fairfield, another one at Richwood on the River. We're really leaning into the trolley as a private rental. That's really our bread and butter, our weddings. So showing up to those shows, we've partnered with Love Betty Bridal and James Dell on a few of those. They've gone to Indy, Cincinnati, Louisville bridal shows, and we've given them marketing materials, giveaways, stuff like that.
We also, hopefully you've seen some of our professional photography and videography by Free Will Studios. So that's helping all of our marketing efforts as well. And I think I can announce it since it's technically published digitally. Those assets were used for the cover of our 2026 experience guide, which is Trolley. So that's pretty exciting. Our assets also supported the Get Married in Madison wedding giveaway, which generated some historic traffic to the Visit Madison website. So in this day and age of like AI and ChatGPT, website traffic is going down, but Visit Madison's continues to grow. And that has a lot to do with us just having really high quality marketing materials like these photos that you guys helped pay for. We launched that campaign in partnership with Madison Trolley Line, Love Betty Bridal, James Dell, and a few other vendors on November 9th. And from November 9th to when we announced the winner on Christmas Eve, we had over 200,000 hits on our website. So that was really, it actually crashed our website a few times. I was in Florida on Christmas Eve talking to our website people because they were trying to vote for the winners and our website kept crashing. So it was really fun. Those are just a few ways that your funds have helped support the Madison Trolley Line. So we're really excited about continuing to grow in 2026. You'll see on the back some things that are coming up that we are going to continue to invest in. Girls Weekend looks a little different this year. Madison Main Street's not doing a ticketed event like they typically do. So Trolley is going to offer, as opposed to like a ticketed weekend offering, we're going to do a Trolley weekend pass for attendees. We have our Taste of Ireland trolley crawl, which has sold out the last several years. Our Night at the Museums event, as well as Santa Express, both had to be canceled because of really unfortunate snow weather. So we're looking to reschedule our Night at the Museums event, which is another aspect of Trolley that we're very passionate about, like elevating and helping bring attention to our partners. So for that event, we were working with Lanier and the History and Art Center, as well as Sacred Vow Photography and the Walnut Fire Street Museum. So we just want to find different ways, like Kim mentioned, we're working with Ma. We're doing another event later on with History and Art Center. So we're just trying to find different ways of partnering with different tourism partners because we know that's very important. And then I've also mentioned the current winter promos that we have going on. So it's kind of a recap of all things Trolley. And again, thanks for helping us support us in our first year. We're very excited. This is our first winter of operation, obviously. So we're eagerly collecting all that data and seeing where we will go from here.
Thank you.
So are you guys finding more benefit, or maybe not, of private events or specialty events versus like general transportation? Like, because I know you kind of started off, it was more of like, you know, on Fridays, Saturdays, there was like running the line, and sometimes you're still doing that. But what are your thoughts on that, or what are you discovering?
Yeah, we just had this conversation actually, so it's really funny. Yeah, it's definitely our paid programming. I think it just, I mean, I do have data to support, but correlation doesn't equal causation, so I can't pinpoint the exact reason. If I had to venture to guess, we live in the Midwest and public transit isn't common, so people aren't used to going somewhere and relying on public transit or utilizing public transit. So a lot, and probably most people in this room would just feel more comfortable like having a vehicle at their mercy and not having to wait on the trolley. So yeah, we're seeing not really the response that we were hoping for those kinds of events, like Fourth Friday. Fourth Friday, for instance, we do have some riders who just ride the trolley for the novelty of riding the trolley, but our feedback is always, overwhelmingly negative because they're like, why are you doing this? Nothing's open. I can't force all 200 downtown businesses to be open though, so that's like kind of outside of our.
No, it's not surprising data. I mean, it's kind of what I had assumed, that it's probably peak interest is gonna be for individual programming or specialty events, versus just general transit.
Yeah, I think summer Sundays are much more popular than our Fourth Fridays, and I think that ties directly to things being downtown, being open. So we do see a lot more traffic on the summer Sunday days, but it's still not, overwhelmingly like if you see the trolley, it's gonna be packed full
Right.
or anything like that. So yeah, I think people are just looking for those experiences. And we're still fine tuning like what those experiences are. That's why we're just honestly throwing a lot of stuff at the wall and seeing what will stick. It's like I said, like we're still really young. So it's like, well, that didn't really work out, or financially that didn't really make sense for us. Or sometimes we stumble upon a gold mine and we're like, wow, who knew that we would sell out both of our Streamcliff events? That seems to be one of our most popular trolley events, taking the trolley to Streamcliff. Apparently people want to drive or drink there and drive responsibly, so that makes sense. But we kind of stumble into stuff like that. And that's what all the data is there for.
Cool.
Any other
Anything else?
questions? Well,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Does anybody want to go before me?
Anybody, Bob, you wanna go? Okay. all right.
Yeah, Bob's it, JD, that's all that was.
Yeah.
You and Bob.
By the way, one comment on Lindsay, and she's not giving herself enough credit as well. She's doing an incredible job with the Trollites, and my first 4 months, I've gotten the pleasure to work directly with her. And you won't find a more passionate person. I always think there's people that want to get in my fundraising lane. I'm like, good luck, right? And same thing with Lindsay. She runs a tight show. But one thing that I think we should mention, we have one of our partners in the audience tonight, Fairfield Inn, and Josh. I think we can safely say 5 to 6 of our most recent activities have been because of the experience that we've been passing on through this little triangle here. So I think that's worthy of mentioning.
Appreciate that.
And, from a 60th
Yeah.
birthday party to 32 people going to a restaurant and back for 3 hours, to the most recent one that we haven't even responded to late today. So, but she runs a hell of a show. So
Cool.
anyway, I am here to speak about, and by the way, I passed the overview out. I represent the Madison Riverfront Development Committee. Everybody associated with us as we celebrate our 40th anniversary, which is amazing. I'm here to first and foremost thank you for the $5,000 grant. Raising money is not easy. We all do it every day, and we all beg and call what you want, beg, plead, borrow, steal. We're raising money and we're putting it right back into our community. But we took your $5,000 gift, and I think we spent it very well. I always like to start off with a snapshot of the numbers, which drives a lot of my mindset. You can see our gross revenue for the 2025 golf cart UTV poke run. This is not to be public. I've never given you numbers today, you know that, right? I've never given you numbers, have I? But anyway, our gross revenue was
Going
100.
live on YouTube.
1,709, I know, I'm just kidding. And gross expenses of 33,173. Very proud of this number because it continues to go up, which is the net profit. That's what it comes down to, right? $71,446 of net profit that goes back into our beautiful 1.5 mile walkway riverfront that we can't buy, recreate, borrow, or steal, but we can enhance. And that's what we try to do every single day. This number does not reflect our housing partners, our restaurant partners, our bars, and our businesses that had a direct, huge impact, and our golf cart rental businesses in town that had a direct impact and hit with financial success that day back in October, which leads us to the next piece on here, visitor and tourism impact. Our placer data, thank you, Andrew, comparing it from 2023 to 2025, our percentage of folks traveling 35 plus miles away or greater increased by 62.5%. I've been doing this golf cart UTV silly poker run since its inception, which I wondered if it would even fly, to the point where we've gotten it today of breaking the $100,000 barrier of gross revenue. And it is amazing to see all of those people that are calling us and spending money prior to, in the hundreds of dollars, prior to arriving in Madison. And then, of course, filling up and, what should I say, all of our housing partners downtown, all of our restaurants, all of our bars and such. So I think the Placer data, 62.5% increase in 24 months is incredible. I didn't mention out of town guests. I didn't say where they're coming from. Cincinnati, Ohio, Northern Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Indianapolis, Indiana, Lexington, Kentucky, and of course, all the smaller surrounding communities that are in between us and their locations. I also put that the keys for success, or the success factors from the JCBT grant. Social media. I know we've spoken about it all night tonight about it, and I'm not going to dive too deep. We did have 54 plus each posts. All of those were boosted. So if you're wondering where several of our dollars went to, it's taking advantage of what we know that works. And I hate saying this, you know, it's the basics. It is absolutely focusing on the basics and pounding those things, you know, into the ground. And, you know, hopefully you didn't get tired of seeing all those posts every other day leading up to the event, that they can pay off because the Placer data shows it. The sponsorship revenue doubled over prior year. The expansion from 14 to 20 sponsorship stops, which is on there, the bullet point as well. You're looking at what, 233, about 400 to 500 a stop is what it takes for the signage and the items, the decks and the shoe decks, and all the things that go into an additional stop. But when we increased from 14 to 20, we also gained an enhanced individual experience because now they're sitting down. They can have a drink, they can have lunch, they can, you know, converse. They're not just running from one stop to the next, and then they're done. And we didn't see a lot of that revenue infused. We also see the backside of it as well, because they will visit those particular favorite bars and restaurants that they were there earlier in the day and spend the evening having their dinners, and again carrying the afternoon activity on into the nighttime. I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm going to go to page 4 and just read the additional overall poker run and what we think it did. And I put it expanded digital presence directly contributed to higher out-of-town attendance as reflected in the Placer data, showing 1,600 visitors traveling from 35 plus miles away in 2025, up from 1,300 in 2024 and fewer than 1,000 in 2023. The increased regional visibility also supported full hotel occupancy across all downtown partner properties for the weekend. The JCBT grant not only amplified awareness of Poker Run, but strengthened Madison's brand as a vibrant riverfront destination, delivering measurable tourism impact and reinforcing the value of continued investment in designated focused marketing. The last thing that this does not say a word about that we can't track or measure is our beautiful riverfront. And we continue to invest. Phase 3 is on the cusp of being approved and moving forward. So again, it's not finalized, but it is in the very near future. But we're very proud of all the money that we raise goes right back into Madison. It doesn't leave. There's nothing wrong with other events where it leaves. I'm just saying ours is invested in something that everybody sees every day, uses every day, drives by every day, and our tourists and all that income that's driven from our out-of-town tourism dollars. Why not come to Madison? It's a beautiful downtown. Why wouldn't you want to come back? And that's another thing. I see repeat business. People bring in 6 people, bring in 12, 24. They're also feeding into our 2 other fundraisers. We can talk about those on our new application. But right now, this is a review of the grant. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support. I know this was our first year together. What questions do you have for me?
Did a great job presenting.
Good.
No question. I'm the only one that didn't get a question. Huh, that's either very good or very bad in the business world. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I will say that JD has been a pleasure
to work with. I think he's been an asset, just my opinion, to VMI. He's been a liaison between corporate accounts, wedding groups. The communication's been excellent. I received a lot of great feedback, so I appreciate you for that. It not only, makes Madison look better, but also our property personally, so thank you.
And one hell of a party Saturday night. I drove all the way back from Cincinnati and had to go back up Sunday to come to your
Oh,
party
wow.
Saturday night. We had a couple of no return people, that Bob Courtney guy. I thought we had him on a no return policy. No, anyway.
Oh, you mean Saturday night?
Huh?
Saturday night?
Yeah, I said
Oh, I thought you said Sunday, sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I came back.
Oh, yeah, that was a great event.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, Tri-Kappa really did a great job.
They did, they knocked it out of the
Yeah,
park. Great
Yeah,
host.
and Coco's a part of that.
Yeah.
so that was
JD,
a
thank
great
you.
event.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We appreciate your support.
And thank you for all the projects and partnerships and everybody coming in to update us. We genuinely appreciate that. Andrew, you're up. VMI update, VMI marketing update.
All right, I'll keep it short and sweet. We just got the visitor guide off to the printer, so that's what has been taking a lot of Sarah's time, a lot of our staff time. That's a monumental task to get that finalized and off to the printer. Added a few more pages this year. So hopefully by the next meeting, we should have that available. Maybe by the next meeting.
The next one is
Yeah, and.
February 16th.
It's usually about 2 weeks till we get it. So it'll be close.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we'll see. If not, it'll be probably by our Visit Madison meeting. So, working on that. I think she sent you a report. If she didn't, it'll be coming very soon. I think you got my report, here a couple weeks ago. Now, if you have any questions about that, happy to answer those. We are ramping up this is our season to go travel shows, trade shows. JD and I were supporting the Ohio River Way, and we also got so rather than buying a booth at some of these events, at the boat and RV shows in Louisville and Cincinnati, we went and supported the Ohio River Way, and we also got to be there and talk about Madison. So he was in Cincinnati for 2 days. With that, I went down to Louisville for one evening. And then we've got a couple other things coming up, where we'll be at some bus shows, trying to bring group travel back to Madison. So, if you have any questions, I'm finalizing our 2025 data. Hope to have that to you guys here soon. 2025 looked like a good year, not a great year, but a good year for tourism overall.
Anybody have any questions for Andrew? Andrew, thank you.
All right, again, no questions. That's either really good or really bad.
Really good. Well, guys, we have,
I know.
any updates, Jess, on JCTN?
Yes, so we had a JCTA meeting, on the 21st. It was well attended as usual, and it was at Hanover College at, Parker Auditorium, but not in the auditorium, down underneath. And I'm here to tell you, like, wow, it was amazing. We were all blown away. There's like a stock ticker. We were in the social media room. It's really fancy. They have done some really, really cool things over there. So it was really cool that Sam could host us and show that off to us. And we had just an amazing space. That was really nice. And we had a really good meeting too. We really came together and had some great conversations about things going forward and what we were looking at and talking about the data. So Andrew brought us some data. But also some things that we need to work on together. One of which is we're gonna have more meetings again. We decided that we're not really getting enough done if we're not meeting a little more regular. So our next meeting is gonna be on April 1st. We've not decided where yet.
Not joking.
And not.
I was gonna ask that.
Yes. But that was something that really came up. And so some of the things that we talked about, so Matt, you could not have been more dead on because we had an entire 40-minute conversation about the trolley and how the trolley is being used and if it could be used for transportation, what that looks like, where is it going, how do we get that? if Andrew had any options, all of those things came up. But we also talked about, you know, what everyone else is doing, as always, and how we need to work better together, which is always the thing that comes out of, the Tourism Alliance meetings, is we get a chance to talk and see what everyone is doing and figure out what those options are to be better prepared and find better ways and things that we can improve, that small stuff that we can really improve and make big moves in the future. So that's kind of where we're at, and it was a really good meeting. We didn't have any JCPT attendees,
Yeah.
so I missed you guys, but it was very well attended and really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, I'd like to, extend our board, if we ever have an opportunity to go and stop by one of their meetings for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. I know we're all busy. In 2026, try to at least go to one. I'll absolutely make that pledge publicly, that we're all busy, we all got things to do, but I appreciate what you all are doing. And like we've talked about for a long time, communication is absolutely everything.
That was
So-
definitely a conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked a lot about that, and just how we can work together. So like, one of the big things we talked about was how could we do something better for spring break? And it was just a whole conversation of all of us saying things and I mean.
agreeing to it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we're like, just go do this, or, you know, but it really gave you some agency and some urgency to think about what that would look like and how that could benefit everything together. And a lot of us, I mean, I'll say it right out the gate, I probably wouldn't have really been thinking about it that hard unless we had that meeting and had that conversation. So, absolutely.
And for JCTA, you know, members and just people that are applying for grants, you know, it's okay to reach out to us throughout the year and go get a coffee with one of us on a day off or something like that, and just say, hey, you know, because these settings, even though we try to be informal, they're formal. There's not a lot of Q&A sometimes, you know, and it's okay to sit down. Josh and I recently were talking about it, you know, just, you know, sitting down and explaining, what do you really do, you know, and have a real conversation, you know, that's not a board setting. And what that does is not only opens up lines of communication, but it also educates, you know, the two parties having a conversation, right? Yeah. Kim?
Just to add to that, I sat down with Randy. I went out to her office and, out at Clifty, and just sit down and really talked about the Alliance. I didn't necessarily just talk about our organization. I talked about the infrastructure of tourism and what these pieces that generate that beautiful message that the BMI does. And she was like, I am so enlightened by this. And I know she came back and said something to this board. But it was wonderful for her to go, oh, aha. It's like, and she's been in tourism for many, many, many years. And she was just like blown away with the concept of what the Alliance could do. Because if you look at it at the core is tourism, well, what are people doing when they come to our community for tourism? And that's what we're pushing very intensely every day, these organizations. And, you know, it's been amazing that Alliance has given us camaraderie, it's given us partnerships, understanding of what the missions are. I know because I've worked for most of these organizations for all these years, I kind of know it. But other people don't. We just have to kind of, like you say, communicate better.
It's huge, it's huge.
good.
Well, not just from a grant,
No,
you
it has
know,
nothing, yeah,
money, but just pure.
right,
The reason we're on these boards is to make the area for which we live a better place,
Yes.
number one, but also it's to communicate and connect with other people, because I know a few people that you don't, and you know a lot of people that I don't, and the only way to connect with these things and move the needle is simply to talk. So when you go talk to Rainey, you know, it's not just about Kim talking to Renee, it's also
Yeah.
about Renee telling you something that's going on at Clifty that you're like, I would have never known that that was going on at Clifty. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
and that's how the game's played,
And
right?
it would be really great to have the opportunity to maybe sit down with all of y'all I mean, I know most of y'all see you all almost every day. But to be able to really explain and to talk a little bit more informal about some of the things, because we're all working as hard as we possibly can, these organizations.
Absolutely.
And it shows hopefully, but the partnerships have been amazing.
Well, I do know that Dave Bramer likes Jindy's pizza.
Well,
In my low carb world.
I know. Maybe freezer fresh. Yeah. No,
You should take people to
I-
lunch.
I'm an idea guy, right? Like I'll go to lunch, okay?
Food.
thing that I neglected that really connects to what Kim was just saying is we even had a conversation about who else needs to be at the table.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you'll be shocked to know this, I'm usually the one asking for this, but I was not the one who brought it up this meeting. And it became an entire community conversation about how do we make this so that we are really doing the best work we can together and including that community, so that when you have those conversations, it's as simple as we're all in the room
Right.
and it's done, and you don't have to do anything.
And again, the two groups that are constantly mentioned and for every generation that passes on, connect with Hanover College and Ivy Tech, Hanover College and Ivy Tech, like always.
And we've accomplished, well, haven't accomplished, but we're closer.
Yeah.
Than we've ever been.
Schools. Thank you all. I mean that. Let's move on, Jim. It's January meeting. We need to talk about, we need to vote on officers.
And I would nominate yourself to continue as president for another year.
If you all will have me, I will do it for another year.
Do we have a second for that?
I thought you were gonna go with other options.
I know I would do them all. Anybody want to make a motion for the second one, the third one, and the fourth one?
We need,
Reenie is good with it.
we need to elect a vice president.
Yep.
And a treasurer.
Yep.
And I would nominate Dave to continue as treasurer if he's willing to do it.
I will second that. He does a great job. Vice president, you want to be vice president?
I'm happy to continue in that role.
Josh and Matt, are you okay with that?
Yep.
Totally okay with that.
I figured you were probably.
I'm like, am I gonna be able to fly
Your
here?
hands are getting sweaty. I started to-
You make a motion that he's in, then you
Yeah.
take it off.
Yeah.
So I make a motion for
That's how you play the
for
game.
Jim to be the vice president.
Kinda hard to say, huh?
And then, Reenie,
She gonna be the
secretary.
secretary.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that Reenie remains the secretary.
Is Renee willing to accept that position?
Absolutely.
All right, then I will second that.
Okay.
I got out of it.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. There you go, Bob. The officers for 2026. Hey, thank you all again for getting through Snowmageddon and getting up here. Board, thank you all for everything that you all do, seriously. We put a lot of, we put some work in. We have some good conversations, and I appreciate everybody in this room, and let's move the needle in 2026. Make it better than last year. I think that's our goal, job, and duty, so. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move that we adjourn.
Motion carries. Thank you all.
Did he catch your own?
Where's
Hey, Lindsay.